Fight continues, man. Fight continues. You met Brother Frank?
Yeah, actually, I met
Brother
him.
Frank?
Yep. Yeah, I do hot.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Now, right?
Let's show that.
Yeah, I'm showing it. We live now. At 12:45, we're gonna go on.
Let me see it, look. Good. Yourself? Go after this, get you some rest. No, I need to art gallery. Okay, well, tonight. No, tonight I'm gonna sleep good tonight. Sleep good tonight, brother. Sleep good tonight. I'm gonna get up 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Get some work done. Yeah. Very early tomorrow. Frank, what up, Frank?
What's going on, my
brother? I see you over there. Turn your back. Eat that mac and cheese. Shit good, right? Mac and cheese.
Here I am.
Shit good, boy. That's good.
After so many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear, I'm in a box. I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I'll slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters, I'm counting on you, yeah. Black babies in the womb, shackled and bound, chained by the caveman, keeps beauty down. Smacked on the ass when they're squalling and wet. Heir to a spineless man who never forgets, never forgets that he's a prisoner. Can't you hear my plea? 'Cause I need somebody, Lord knows, to listen to me.
Peace.
and love. Once again, it's Brother Frank with my brother.
Abdul Haqq Islam.
And today we are out in Queensbridge as we do every other Wednesday when we're not in the studio, giving the people the intense information on political prisoners. It's very important that we bring this idea to the community because this idea is not often spoke about, right? So we took the initiative to bring it here, and we made it our business to do so because we don't want our political prisoners to be forgotten. It's very important that we step it up as our children prepare themselves for the upcoming school year, right? They're going to be learning about all sorts of things, but it's very important that they learn about the political prisoner because the political prisoner shouldn't be ignored, right? Because, we talk about our freedom fighters and we talk about how we need them, but what happens when they get captured? What happens when they're sick? Who takes care of them, right? So we have to accept the call. We got to do the work. We got to get busy. My brother Abdul Haq, I'll pass it to you. Educate the people.
Peace and love, black power. Brother Frank, do me a favor.
Yes, brother.
Could you put the camera on that sign that's showing that Black Panther? This is what we talk about that's on lockdown. A national treasure. Show the picture of that Black Panther, brother. A national treasure. See that Black Panther on lockdown? That is a spirit totally unconquerable. Fierce. Cannot be dominated. Cannot be defeated. You understand? A spirit of manhood that stands tall as the sky. That's who the Black Panther is, and that's what's on lockdown, and that's what we're trying to free. That spirit needs to be out here among the people. You understand? And we call on our people. You understand? Who these brothers and sisters fought for, to fight for them. It is very, very undisciplined to forget our political prisoners and prisoners of war. You know, and one way that we want to come from today is that there's a lot of gun violence in our hood. Us murdering one another. You know, uh, we got beef about something that ain't worth two dead flies instead of standing up to an enemy that's stolen $777 trillion. We rather go to prison for the rest of our life over something that ain't worth two dead flies and killing our own people. That ain't no definition of manhood. The Black Panthers came with a real definition of manhood, which means you take responsibility for your community. Okay, so I want to talk about it, brother. I'm in Queensbridge, and I want to share some words with you from a brother who has much respect in Queensbridge, who is calling for an end to this violence. All right, let me play it right now. This brother named Sherm the Worm. Big respect in the hood, blood general, So he is calling for us to stop this violence, and many of our political prisoners, at the same time are calling for us to stop this violence. Let me play this clip. Be good, brother.
Man, giving free promotion, all right? My name is Frank Brown. Yeah, we want all the promotion that we can get, man. We want to know about political prisoners. Spirit of political prisoners, those who organize in the interest of common people. We're out here giving out free masks as well as a small pack of hand sanitizer because we know that the Black Panther Party, they did that. They fed the community, they educated the community, they protected the community, right? And we have people that showcase it on the on the board, right? We out of Coley. He's over 84 years old, and he's been incarcerated for over 48 years. Right? They recently denied him parole. We want to bring awareness about people like him. Then there's others. Mumia, everybody knows about. Ron Zavowis, Dr. Latuda Shakur, and Kamal Siddiqui. Those are Queens natives. So we want to bring awareness about them. We want people to know about the upcoming tribunal that's coming up in October. Tribunal is when there's a critical analysis of what's going on, in this case, particularly political prisoners, and how this is an injustice, and how we need to take a position and get educated about them so we can look on the side of freeing the political prisoners and don't let them die in prison.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing.
So my name is Frank Brown. What's your name, bro?
My name is John.
All right, John. I want to give you this my information right here. Car, the website. All right. Thank you. Okay, get a free mask, small pack of hand sanitizer, free the political prisoners. Don't let our political prisoners die in prison. We wanted to give you this. So we got an upcoming tribunal coming. Okay. We want people to be aware of that. Well, we don't have nothing to do with that. We're dealing with the people who are incarcerated because of their abuse.
Okay, all right. All right, that's good thing, okay?
Thank you, sister.
All right, brothers and sisters, y'all heard it. That was Sherman the Worm. We out here at Queensbridge. You understand where he's from? He is calling on youth to stop this violence. And we hope that this message, you understand, really hits home with a lot of our people. Because we got to stop this. You understand? As men, as men, we have to have a new definition of manhood. Our manhood must be about control and being authority where we live, and to be in control of our culture. Our culture must call on us, you understand, to make the hood safe, to uplift the hood. You understand? That is the authority, that is the job, the responsibility of men to control the economics, the education, the culture, the social aspects of our community, to control everything that goes down in the hood. So this is a brother who I did time with, you understand, who's calling on the youth, you understand, to get a new way of thinking, to get a new definition of manhood, a new definition of pride and honor, you understand? And just like this brother became conscious while incarcerated, Imam Malik, formerly known as Jeff Fort, is also calling on people to stop the gang banging. Larry Hoover, leader of the Black Gangster Disciples, is calling on us to have some love for one another, to stop this gang banging. I want to talk about a brother named George Jackson. Let me put this close to the camera. You see?
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll show you.
Show his face. See that brother right there? George Jackson. George Jackson was a powerful brother. A powerful brother. George Jackson is one of the brothers who became politicized while in prison. We support political prisoners and those who became politicized while in prison. All right? And Comrade George is one of them. George Jackson is a giant, understand, among our people. You understand? We have people that the foremost of the revolutionaries are those who stand up fearlessly against a system that has atomic bombs, that allegedly has the most powerful military in the world, has multi-trillionaires. You understand? And the power that brings. The best of us are those who stand up with a backbone of steel against all that. And George Jackson was one of those. And those type of people, they call for us to stop the violence among one another. Like Malcolm X did. Malcolm X and other black leaders, Black Panthers. You understand? The Black Panthers showed us a new way, a new definition, a new way to go. I want to read a little something about George Jackson. Comrade George Jackson said, all black people, wherever they are, wherever their crimes, even crimes against other blacks, are political prisoners because the system is dealt with them differently than with whites. Whites get the benefit of every law, every loophole, and the benefit of being judged by his peers, other white people. Blacks don't get that benefit of any such jury trial by peers. Such a trial is always a cinch result in the conviction of a black person, and it is conscious political decision that blacks don't have these benefits. So, Comrade George is saying all black prisoners are political prisoners. I got another brother here I get time with. Come here, man. You want to holler at the people? Dequan, you want to holler at the people?
Bang on them in F block.
About stopping the violence.
Talking
about stopping this violence.
You know,
Talk about stopping this violence, brother.
peace to the black guard. Stop the violence. Stop killing one another. Put the cameras down. I keep trying to talk to y'all. You don't listen to me. My own nephews, my bloodline. What I'm supposed to do now? Y'all see me knocking police out. You'll see me banging. I don't put my hand on black people. I put my hand on police. Banging.
Yeah, I know this soldier. I time with this soldier on Maxi Max. Just like I did time with Sherman the Worm on Maxi Max. You understand? We got some good soldiers hanging around here. Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray. Black Power. You want to say something to the masses of black people? We're talking about stopping this violence, brother. Oh man. You ain't old, brother. You take some pictures. Turn them up. Yo, listen. It is absolutely too. The culture right now in our community is that by any means necessary, I gotta give my respect. I gotta show that I'm dominant. And there's nothing wrong with respect. There's nothing wrong with power. There's nothing wrong with being. Good. You got room? Something for. Oh, we good. Yeah, pardon me. Yo, listen. Ultimately, we gotta love each other more in the hood, right? We are reflections of one another. We gotta start to treat each other as that. We have to start, as men especially, we gotta create order. We gotta think more, be less emotional, and create a structure, order of what is it like in our community, right? What do we do when conflict arises? How do we deal with such and such? Because the end result cannot continue to be killed. It cannot continue to be kill my brother at all costs for whatever reason, for something that he just did, something that he said, something that I heard he did, slept with my girl, he making money on my block. None of it is worth the life of your brother or your sister. And so we have to once again adopt that as a culture. We have to make that the way. We have to make that the way. So we have to talk about forgiveness. We have to talk about compassion. We have to talk about empathy, right? There are certain things that has to become part of the conversation so that it's part of who we are. Because right now we're not compassionate towards each other, right? We're not empathetic towards each other's pain, right? We take too much stuff personally. Like bumped you. They didn't mean to bump you. Like maybe they're in the zone. Like and then your response and their response. Like everybody's dealing with something.
What you looking at me for?
Yeah, it shouldn't just be what.
What you looking at?
Like, come on, we have to make love of self, right? Love of self, love of each other, love of the race, right? Love of our nationality, even if it's just Black Americans, right? 'Cause, like, love who you are, and then exhibit that love toward those who live around you, those who live with you. You know, because no matter what you're striving for, legally or illegally, you can always do more together, right? Like you can always get more accomplished together. You can make more money together. You can do this together. So like, whatever the beefs are that's happening in our hoods, we need to cease them immediately, right? It's insane, brother.
Yeah,
right? It's
but
like
we gonna get some sanity jumping off.
It's like no words for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just work. It's just work. It's just work to transform the energy. That's ultimately what it is. It's energy. It's energy. It's energy. It's energy. We can't keep just blaming poverty, right? Because there are people poor in other countries and they have guns. They're not killing each other. So it's part poverty, yes. It's part the fact that we've been conditioned to be violent, right? It's a conditioning from birth, watching cartoons and the comic books, and they taught us that if you feel, if I love what I have going on, my life is beautiful, and I'm working towards something. I got something, I'm working towards something more. If I have that value, no matter what you do, I'm thinking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times before I react in a way that's going to jeopardize that. So even if it's just my children, I love my job, I love my freedom, I love just being able to wake up and take a walk when I want to, where I want to. So we got to value that. But it goes back to culture, man. What are our core values in our communities across America in the hood? So we got to talk about that. We got to talk about establish some values because one of my boys said a couple years ago we did a press conference and he said not everybody, but a lot of people know somebody with a gun who got no good intention. Mm-hmm. You know somebody who got a gun. You know they got no good intention. They don't got it just to protect. They got it because they might think about doing something. They got a potential to take something to the next level, and we don't say nothing. We don't check them. So we say, oh, you can't control the next man. You can't control the next man, but you can influence the next man. You try to talk some sense to him, culture. Remind them of the culture, who he is. We agree to this is who we are. Is it that serious? Ask yourself that. Right. And if you say yes, then ask yourself why. Why? Like, what do you have that you're willing to lose what you have for this idea of respect or of power or of... Because once you're there, you lose it. Ultimately. Right? So let's keep building, man. I appreciate you. Black Power.
I read that Sugar Ray, like Sugar Ray Leonard, got the 155 punch combination.
Ray Robinson, man.
Like Sugar Ray Robinson,
the greatest
fighter. And the lame got knocked out on the 75th punch. Okay, so like Sugar Ray said, we can't be programmed. That's a condition. You know what they program condition? A rat in a laboratory on a wheel. They give him a little piece of food, and that rat will do anything they tell him to. So we're talking about self-determination. We're talking about our humanity. You know, they train a dog. You understand? Condition a dog. You understand? That's how they is trained. To sit, bark, beg, and speak what the master tell you to speak. You know, so we raising up our humanity, our power. You understand? And so this is the energy that we got to put in our hood to resolve these serious contradictions that's got us going to one funeral after another and going to the penitentiary for the rest of our lives.
Free masks,
you understand?
Free hand sanitizer, and spirit of political prisoners.
We are saying that these brothers and sisters behind the wall who can put this message out here, can put this culture out here, that Sugar Ray just put out here, you understand, among his loved ones in Queensbridge, that energy needs to be free. That Black Panther energy needs to be free, brothers and sisters. So support our political prisoners and prisoners of war. And I want to say, go online and look up Spirit of Mandela, the tribunal. We are putting this system on trial. A system that's going around the world murdering dark-skinned people. You understand? So people become multi-billionaires off of murdering millions and millions and millions of dark-skinned people. We putting that system on trial, a tribunal. You understand? And the Spirit of Mandela is an organization that supports political prisoners, you know? So we are saying that we got to think intelligently, you know? Let's think in terms of what makes sense, you know? Frantz Fanon said that when people reach out and just touch what's closest to them, it's because they don't feel the ability to reach out and touch that which is truly created their condition. The armies, you understand, the men with guns, you understand, who have terrorized, raped, robbed, and pillaged all over the world. When they don't feel that they can touch them, they touch what's closest to them. Their brother, Frantz Fanon, said that. So that's something to think about.
Wretched of the earth.
The wretched of the earth. Haqq, come on, you got something to say to the mass of the people? You eating macaroni and cheese right now?
He definitely got something to say. Yeah, Mac got something to say, man.
Blame the
Mac
victim.
he got something to say.
Yo, Mac, come on, huh? In between bites of macaroni and cheese. We give away macaroni and cheese to the people right now. Come on, say something. In between bites of macaroni and cheese, brother.
Yeah, I'm out here.
Go ahead. Is he on camera?
Yeah,
Right,
I'm
he's
out
on
here
camera,
at Queensbridge houses, the largest public housing in the country. You know, historically, communities like Queensbridge, communities like in Bronzeville, the South Bronx, and Harlem, you know, have been historically under-resourced, and the investments that the city has made in our communities has been investments in policing, and this is something that has to change, and it's not going to change unless we get organized. You know, we can't do it by ourselves. We have to be a part of an organization. Uh, we have the N.E.P.P.C, the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition,
Join the organization.
who working to like free our political prisoners. And I always think about how, you know, how you expect people to get involved with the struggle if you don't support those people who gave their lives to the struggle, like Suliati Akoli, you know, Matula Shakur, and so many others. So we got to be a part of an organization. If you know, if you don't like what's going on in the organization that you're involved with, you know, go to another one, create an organization.
Start organization.
You know, start
right.
an organization. You know, because you have to do this collaboratively. You have to do this in coalition. And I'm out here supporting the N.E.P.P.C, you know, because they're doing amazing work. They're in the struggle. These are freedom fighters, the people who sacrifice their lives for us, and we standing on their shoulders. So I'm here to support the work that they're doing, and shout out to all the political prisoners and the politicized prisoners. You know, the people who transform the criminal mentality to the revolutionary mentality. While they inside and they organize and change the condition and working and to get back to our communities so we can build up our communities. And yeah, I think I said enough.
Yeah, you said a mouthful, brother. You said 1,000 mouthfuls. You know, and the brother talked about us doing this ourselves. You know, so when the brother spoke about that, he was talking about self-determination. We ain't talking about the enemy, you're not trying to organize and tell us how to organize to solve our problem. We're talking about independence, you know, and you know, black nationalism is a spirit of independence. You know, as Malcolm said, you know, as Garvey said, to do for self. To do for self. You know, we don't need the police coming out here telling us how they're gonna solve our problem. The police ain't never solved one social problem in the whole totality of their existence. You know, so we saying that independently we can resolve this situation. You know, this gun violence among our people. You know, I'm saying that I got 1,000% confidence that we're gonna resolve this. You know, we got some strong brothers out here on this corner of 40th and 12th Avenue here in Queensbridge. Yo, brother, man, we got a artist here. You know, artists are very, very important. The artists, you understand, the words of the artists are like holy scripture. You understand? that our people follow. A dude named Stretch said that I am not a sociological expert, but I don't think the words in the songs have anything to do with the behavior of the people. So I wrote him back. I said, I am a sociological expert, and I know that the words, that the culture has something to do with the beliefs and the behavior of the people. So our artists are very, very critical, you understand, in creating a culture, this life-affirming culture, this culture of love that our political prisoners are talking about. The solution is love. So I'm going to bring this brother. Brother Aki, what's your name, brother? Eddie, come on, Eddie. Ready, Eddie, my man.
Ready, Eddie.
See this so you be on camera, brother.
Let's go, Ready, Eddie.
What up, what up? This is Eddie from Houston, Texas. Living in Brooklyn now, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. And yeah, we out here giving out free mac and cheese, giving out knowledge for the people, letting them know that it's all about mind, body, and spirit. It's all about learning from your ancestors, learning from your past, and building from that. Taking the knowledge, taking the wisdom from the OGs, from the elderlies, looking out for the youth, and bringing healthy development. And that's what we do out here. We give out mac and cheese, and we give out knowledge for the people, food for thought. You know, you got to be able to open your mind, got to be able to look for a new formula, and represent for the people out there that's still fighting the real struggle from depths of poverty to incarceration. You know, we out here using art form, we're using good food, using books and everything out here to do what we can to make sure that we feed the youth. It's all about youth development, so we can learn from our past and not be stuck in the same cycle. And I'm just gonna do like just a couple of bars just to let them know.
Right on, bro.
Just to do it.
Drop that culture.
Yo, drop the culture live here with the mic in my hand. I bring in power, that be knowledge. Gotta fight for the plan, like the old school X Clan or maybe Public Enemy. You know we gotta do it. There's no white supremacy. We take it off the top. You know, and now it have to get political prisoners making sure that we after this is blasphemous. That's why we out here feeding from the ground up. You know, it's the activist. That's what we have to do. See me when I'm passing through. This is just food for thought that I pass for you. From my ancestors, got it from my grandma. That's why I'm out here in New York City to stand tall. This man's raw, and you know that I'm intelligent. We're giving out free vegan mac and cheese for the youth development to let them know that you gotta stay on the grind. Gotta keep it all connected, soul, body, and mind. Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Ready Eddie from Queensbridge, dropping that culture. You understand? Saying he talked about power. So we saying that the culture, that's we calling on the masses of our people to create a power in our culture that is an overwhelming power, a power that can't nothing stop, a power that no obstacle in the world can stop. You understand? A power big as all our doors. A culture of love. That, like I said, our political prisoners are calling on that type of love. Imam Malik, formerly known as Jeff Fort, leader of the Blackstone Rangers and Ill Rukins, is calling on that type of love. Larry Hoover, leader of the Black Gangster Disciples, is calling on that type of love. Sherm the Worm, a big-time general in the Bloods from Queensbridge, is calling for that type of love. And we're reaching out for other people. I need y'all to spread this message, to make this message go worldwide, to create that force that nothing can stop, that the enemy cannot stop. You understand? That the enemy saying that what determines what lyrics reach our people that are marketed, that are capitalist market decides that they will produce what they think the people will buy. You understand? This poison culture. No, we're saying that we're taking advantage, we're taking control of where we live as men. This is the role of men. This is the new definition of manhood that we must give our people. The Black Panthers and the Young Lords led young men out of a life of gang banging into political activism. You understand? By showing them a better way of living, You know, showing them an alternative. Understand? So we're saying that this happens to happen right now. You know, this is critical, brothers and sisters. All right, it's got to happen right now. Need y'all to participate. All right, call the brother. Call the brother.
Hollywood.
Hollywood, come on, man.
Not today. The energy ain't right.
All right,
Energy ain't right.
okay, Hollywood. Hollywood is gonna go, might talk to us next time. Right now, you know, he taking a chill pill. All right, so yeah, you know, that's it. What about our brother Frank? Want to close out?
So there you have it. We have some very powerful and important words from the people of Queensbridge, from other organizations who are doing the work. It's a collective effort, right? So we had three organizations come together to serve the interests of the community. And I think that's very important because we're bringing ideas straight to the community, straight to Queensbridge. We say that if an
Queensbridge,
idea,
Stateway Gardens,
if we start,
Cuyahoga houses.
we bring an idea to
All right,
Queensbridge, that
Queensbridge
impact
and
the
every
nation.
other housing development, major housing development.
Absolutely,
You understand?
absolutely, absolutely. Before we close out, I just want to hit the people with that very powerful, important message from Killer Mike.
Go ahead, brother.
Radio 1. She's like, Michael, it is time that you guys organize a fund to set aside to help people who sacrifice for our freedom. Meaning, we every time something happens, I hear this. Why don't the gang bangers jump up and do something for us? Why don't you kill them? You kill each other. And I say to myself, when is the last time you sent money to Asada Shakur? When is the last time you sent money to Matulu Shakur? When is the last time you sent money to Mamiya Abu Jamal or Larry Hoover or Jeff Ford or Leonard Pelter? When is the last time you have made it your business to send money to a revolutionary or a hoodlum that has helped us? And until we start to do that, how can we ask these young men to be warriors? Because if they do it in the name of the hood, at least the hood gonna honor their name always. At least the hood gonna make sure at least their children got something or their mama's house is looked after. As a community, if we're going to ask people to bungee jump for us with no cord, be prepared to take care of them when they get a life sentence. Be prepared to look after their families. See, I don't mind the work getting done, but let's take care of the workers. Let's stop asking more out of people than we would do for ourselves. So what I'd like to see, my dream thing is to see 1 million people from the culture dedicate $10 a month. That's $10 million a month, $120 million a year for taking care of civil rights leaders who have worked on our behalf and are elderly now and don't have to take care of themselves, like Rosa Parks, whose rent was paid by the owner of Little Caesar's Pizza. We should have had a fund to make sure that she never had to worry about that again in her life. We should have a fund that makes sure money makes it to Asada Shakur, and Matulu Shakur has legal representation and food, and Leonard Pelter, who has diabetes in jail, can get insulin taken care of. And until we start doing it, $10 a month is about what you pay on a couple fast food restaurant business. So if 1 million of us do that for the rest of our life, look at how well we'll be taking care of the people that we're asking to sacrifice on our behalf.
I agree. And recently,
All right, brothers and sisters, you got it. You know, One last thing I want to say is never feel that we are hopeless and helpless, that there's nothing we can do about our situations. One of the strategy of the enemy to inflict terroristic violence all over the world was intended to make us feel there's nothing we can do about our situation. We're saying that we are 100%, 1,000% confident that we can cure this gun violence and every other contradiction in our community, you understand, through the right leadership, and that our incarcerated brothers, our incarcerated Panthers and Black Liberation Army soldiers is a very, very vital aspect of us changing our condition and being successful Black power.
There it is. It's on you now. What's the call?
Free them all.
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 Free 'em all.